Monday on Attack of the Show, it's the pinnacle of geek fantasies,
I plan on wearing 8 costumes.
known as Comic-Con. Then your favorite web slinger is back. Tobey Maguire returns for the ultimate battle in Spider-Man 3. Plus, the cast of Lost share their secrets about the new season.
This is our island.
All this and more on a live and totally original Attack of the Show, starting right now.
They're exuberant.
Right. Everybody else but my buddy Lewis. Lewis, do the yell. Let me hear it. Come on, yell. All right, that was terrible, actually. Welcome to a live, very special Comic-Con edition of Attack of the Show, TV's only source for what you care about. It's Monday the 24th. Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Pereira. Olivia Munn, out on assignment. She got lost in TJ. No idea where. Today, we continue our Comic-Con coverage with a very special edition of Attack of the Show. And joining us today is the comic queen, Miss Blair Butler.
Thank you, Kevin.
Says it on your business cards.
I know. And that underneath, big nerd.
Yeah, giant.
So Comic-Con ended yesterday, and today we're filling you in on everything that went down, from the big announcements, to the scoops, to the star sightings, all of it.
To the stench,
yes,
actually. Which was there this year. You think every year someone could just Febreze the nerds,
yeah,
but no.
I know. They need to hand out some, like, deodorant.
Right, at the badge check. Just squirt them down. Like
right.
All right, well, let's get right to it. What did you think were the big stories this year? You were there, you had a lot of fun, you ran around. What'd you see?
I have to say Spider-Man 3 and that Venom footage, they basically unveiled some exclusive footage of Topher Grace turning into Venom, confirmed Venom for everybody, and the fans are so excited about this movie. They were just completely freaking out.
Do you feel like Sam Raimi's a bigger star than Topher Grace or Tobey Maguire, like at a Comic-Con? Because it seems like the fans were more interested in shaking his hand and getting his autograph.
Well, I mean, look at it's like, Evil Dead and just so many great movies that he's worked on. So, yeah, I think people will just freak out over really the cult guys, like the behind-the-scene guys there. So.
Well, speaking of great movies, Grindhouse was there, and that caught everybody by surprise.
Grindhouse, I didn't get to see the clip, but apparently this is the film by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, and they actually unspooled a clip from Planet Terror, which is Rodriguez's segment, and it has Rose McGowan with I believe like a rifle or machine gun for a leg.
Hot.
And apparently it was just crazy. Like, people were losing their nerd cookies all over the place.
All right. Cool that all that stuff was there, but I don't think you got to see any of it because I saw a photo of your Comic-Con experience, which I think is even around the net right now.
Yeah.
And it involves you in a stormtrooper outfit. Do we have the image? Okay, so that's that's fantastic.
I wish that was me.
You look great as a brunette, by the way.
Thank you.
But do we have the stormtrooper image, which is the one of you, I think, passed out, helmetless on the floor of the convention
That
center?
second image was how I see myself in the stormtrooper outfit.
Right.
But yeah.
What was the deal with you? You passed out on the convention floor.
There's not a lot of flexibility, so I just I dropped, and once you drop, you can't get back up without help. So I lay there like a dorky roadside attraction.
And they point at you with their sabers.
My
they poke you with
helmet
them.
rolled off. It was embarrassing, and the people in the background were just kind of looking at me. Did anyone help?
No.
No, not so much.
Not at all.
I just kind of lay there and,
An occasional saber prod.
Right.
They're like, she's dead. Forget it. All right. Well, we're talking Comic-Con for the entire show, folks, and now it's time for our equivalent of snakes on a server, because we're going around the net.
So the Miss Universe pageant was on last night, and in case you missed it, and why should you, here's the only part worth watching.
Of course, the talent section, right?
Clearly you were blind and deaf, Kevin. No, I'm talking about the swimsuit competition.
They have talent. Hello. Not bad. Not bad, but
Yes.
what's with the might as well be wearing a onesie between the sash and the... What the hell is that?
They look like Destiny's Child.
No, they even have the, like a Barbie straight out of the package that's still on the little plastic stand with the big pull-up, their plastic ass.
Exactly.
You see,
They're bedazzled.
Why were they standing on the little metallic discs, though?
Because if they move too much, the makeup cracks.
they actually melt
Right.
Miss Puerto Rico's face.
Well, anyway, after it was all said and done, Miss Puerto Rico herself, Zuleika Rivera Mendoza.
Goal!
Yes, she could also be a news announcer. She was the winner. Here she is getting crowned, but the big story that has been all over the internet is that just a few minutes after receiving the title, She straight up fainted. She passed out.
Apparently just exhausted, and she just passed right out like
Right.
like a nerd in a stormtrooper costume, apparently. She's
Just
fine
like
now.
me.
She's fine now, but I expect Miss Universe to have a little more intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, you don't want to see him dropping like a fly.
No, and she's supposed to be the hottest chick in the universe. Like, the hottest chick in the universe does not faint at the drop of a hat, even after pageant face.
Yeah.
So there she is right there. There she's passing out there. Kind of like a poor man's J-Lo, that Miss Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest.
You know, I have to say, we were at Comic-Con this weekend, and I saw women who were a little bit more attractive, actually.
And cosplaying.
And yeah, and in spandex and painted blue and
God bless them. And look, if we're talking Miss Universe here, I have to say, lesbian Batwoman.
Yes.
She's got to be in the running. She wears the tight spandex.
Right.
Got a utility belt.
She has webbed armpits, apparently.
Right. Picks up with other hot chicks. Apparently, she does a little hooking up.
Right.
Not
and
bad.
you know, you can never forget when you're talking about sexy comic ladies, the She-Hulk.
Oh, look at that.
She is green.
Right.
She can lift an automobile over her head.
Yes.
She has gamma radiated blood. She's very green. If I mentioned green,
Smoking hot.
yeah.
Can use the breasts as a Hulk smash, actually.
Yes, she has
could kill small
gamma
children with those things.
augmented cleavage.
God bless her. She-Hulk smoking hot, but no other comic chick, and I'm going to end this thing right
Okay,
now.
all right.
I'm going all in. Peppermint Patty. Nobody's hotter. She wears the sandals. Sometimes she's got those cute emo glasses. You know she hooks up with other chicks.
She's got a tube top, apparently.
Yeah, totally overlooked. But Peppermint Patty would never faint under the pressure, by the way.
Yeah, plus she can also lay linoleum in your bathroom if you need it. She's a handy gal.
Women of many talents. All right, let's close this little digital newspaper. That's going to end around the net. Go to attackoftheshow.com for the links to everything you just saw. But right now, let's check in with the news of the day. Here's Layla Cayley and the feed headlines.
Thanks, Kevin. You may have been having fun at Comic-Con all weekend, but I was looking up news stories. So here's what's coming your way in the feed. Marvel used their time at Comic-Con wisely and announced their next 3 superhero movies. If you want to know what they are, keep it here. Plus, speaking of Marvel superheroes, there's big Iron Man movie news on the horizon, and it's about whose ass Tony Stark is going to kick. And finally, M. Night's latest opus, Lady in the Water, had a rough weekend at the box office. How rough? Stick around, we'll tell you. All this and more coming up in the feed, but first, back to the couch.
Thank you, Layla. Now, Blair pointed out something interesting.
Yeah.
Zach Selwyn is standing across the studio. Oh, pageant face!
Oh, Zach, you look
Oh,
lovely.
no. Oh.
I'm sorry.
He's
It's just when I
down.
hear my name.
He's down.
I'm
That was
sorry. I'm still recovering from a major overdose of all things Comic-Con this weekend.
Oh,
you know?
yes, he calls it an overdose because
Right.
he was hanging out with the old Snoop Deal Double Jizzle all weekend. Were you
I
not?
sure was. Yeah, Snoop and I had a little conversation here and there. You know what I mean?
No, conversation's one thing, but did you hear the story about him and Snoop Dogg?
I heard rumors of
Something
this
about a
story.
green room?
Well,
Yeah.
so, green being the operative word here. Basically, Snoop and I were hanging out, and he goes, "Hey, let me tell you something, nephew. You's my kind of guy, man. You so hot, you kind of creative, you a character. Why don't you come back to green room? We'll hook you up with some medicinal and herbal remedies." And I said, "Okay." And then I tried to get backstage, and right when I got back, I'm like, "Hi, I'm here for the green room with Snoop and the fellas, you know." And they were like, "Yeah, whatever, press. Get back
You
in
wore the
there,
badge.
you journalist."
You
Yeah,
got
I had
the
press
badge
badge
veto?
on.
Might as well show up in a security outfit.
I
What
know.
are you doing?
I mean, come on.
They're like,
Rookie
you don't
move.
have glaucoma. You get it.
Exactly. Oh, well. You know what? It was close. Willie Nelson and Snoop are like the 2 goals that everyone wants to like smoke with, you know. But I'll tell you later on, we're going to apply everything I learned with Snoop on this episode of Attack of the Show. I'm very excited because we strolled by the independent comic booths of Image and Top Cow to look at some barely clothed women, check out some brutal violence. That's what Snoop and I bonded over, and that's how we like it, Kevin.
Barely clothed and brutally violent. I own volumes 1 through 6
Right.
on DVD of that, actually. So I'm very excited to see what
And
you're
he gets
bringing.
It's going to be
mailing list.
fantastic.
Yeah, I do. Someone signed me up for that. Really weird. Not me.
I don't know who
Mom.
that could be.
All right, so as we've been discussing, lots of big announcements over the weekend, from Snakes on a Plane to the confirmation of Venom and Spider-Man, which you've nerded out over.
Nerd.
Even our exclusive Transformers announcement that the original voice of Optimus Prime,
Yes.
come on, Peter Cullen,
Yep.
going to be in the new film, new
Yeah.
Transformers movie. So lots of big stuff that we announced, but even more big news, right?
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of stuff coming from NBC and the Heroes panel. They screened an extended cut of the pilot episode, and everyone, I have to say, including me, was talking about Frank Miller's 300. It's a film that's going to make the Sin City fans completely freak out because it's in color.
In color, which
Yeah.
was sadly missing from Sin City.
Stylized and in color.
All right. So seriously, though, what was the big announcement to come out of Comic-Con? That's the question for you folks. It's time for the Loop poll. Now, what was buzzworthy at Comic-Con 06? Was it Spider-Man 3, Snakes on a Plane, or NBC's Heroes? What do you think, Blair?
Yeah, I'm thinking Heroes probably not going to win the poll.
Probably not so much. But you vote by text message. Prove it wrong if you want. Text your vote to G4TXT, that's 44898, to vote and register for AOTS live news alerts.
Nerd
and
alert.
later in the show, we have a very special treat for you. That's right. His previous films are Pi and Requiem for a Dream, and now Darren Aronofsky is back with The Fountain. We have the brand new trailer for you. Stick around. Probably don't want to miss it.
Now stay with us. We have a lot more ahead.
Next, it's the ultimate geek out with the stars and superheroes at Comic-Con.
Come on, man. It's dark in the theater. Nobody's gonna know.
Then get a first look at the new villains in Spider-Man 3. Attack is coming right back.
Welcome back to a special Comic-Con edition of Attack of the Show. We're live and we're talking Comic-Con.
Now, before the break, we asked you, what do you think was the most buzzworthy thing at Comic-Con 2006? Well, 46% of you thought that Snakes on a Plane was the most buzzworthy thing at Comic-Con, followed by Spider-Man 3 with 38%, and Poor Heroes with only a sad 16%.
Here's my per diem check. I had money on Heroes. I owe it to you. You know, let's get the debate started, though, by going over to Kevin.
Zach going bid, betting 350, man. Well done.
260.
Rolls hard. Yesterday, Comic-Con 2006 ended, and we're just beginning to digest really what went on there. From the Transformers announcement, to NBC's Heroes, to all the excitement surrounding Spider-Man Trace, and of course, Snakes on a Plane. Comic-Con had it all, but what walked away with the biggest buzz? We have the experts and the opinions. Time to break out the costumes, kids. We're going, and we're talking about Comic-Con today in The Loop, presented by Yaris. Joining us via satellite to really help us make sense of all this Comic-Con jazz from the G4 Studios, resident film geek Chris Gore is here, also from Los Angeles. Staff writer for USA Today, Scott Bowles, is here. And dialing in all the way from New York tonight, Mel Kilo, editorial director of Wizard Entertainment. Gentlemen, welcome to The Loop. Comic-Con, I know everybody's a little exhausted. We had to put the costumes away. But let's get serious here. Chris Gore, what were you most excited to see and or hear about out of Comic-Con?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can pull a muscle from geeking out, I have several pulled muscles. I'll tell you, Spider-Man 3, I'll just echo what Blair said. It's amazing. Getting a look at Venom for the first time had fans just going ape crap. And also, revealing that Topher Grace is Venom is something a lot of fans had suspected, but now we finally have confirmation. In fact, today, Sony just released a photo in the form of wallpaper on the Spider-Man 3 official website. You can get a look at Topher transforming into Venom. It's going to be awesome.
It's a very Linkin Park still. He's about to break. He's screaming. He's got the black goo on him. Looks awesome.
Amazing stuff.
I think that the 300 footage was pretty good, too, That looked really, really awesome.
Can't forget about the 300 footage. A lot of people didn't get to see it, though. They haven't released it yet. Why are they holding this back from the nerds at large?
I don't know. And you have to also think about the Transformers announcement with Peter Cullen, the original voice. That was a really big announcement that was made yesterday. On Saturday.
Sure. And now, Scott, for those of us who aren't wearing capes or who don't live surrounded by wood paneling, what were we excited to see? What was Comic-Con about for us?
Well, it's really about Snakes on a Plane. All of these other things are incremental. They've been there before. The comic books are fine, but Snakes on the Plane had the biggest buzz. They had 19 snakes there, an anaconda. This is the movie that people are talking about. It's fine to have your third installment of Spider-Man, but there's nothing there that they really haven't been seeing before for the past 3 or 4 years. Snakes on the Plane, Samuel Jackson, it's absolutely the film everyone is talking about.
Scott, no disrespect, but this is called San Diego Comic-Con, so the biggest announcement should have been comic book related.
Comic-Con,
you have All-Star Wonder Woman with Adam Hughes. You have Action Comics with Jeff Johns and Richard Donner.
Comic books haven't had anything to do with Comic-Con for the past 6 years. Really, this has become a place where the studios look for demographics. They're looking for young kids. This is about the movies. Nobody cares about comic books anymore. This is where you get your film off the ground. The studios could care less about the comic books. In fact, if anything, they're moving away from the comic books, and all they want is the 18 to 34-year-olds to pay attention to them. Comic-Con might as well be called StudioCon.
Well, Scott, you're definitely right. You're right about one thing. It's definitely turned into an orgy of pop culture. But Snakes on a Plane, we've been hearing it so often. Come on, enough already. Release the movie. Let's see what you got. It's all about the film. There's already a competing film coming out called Snakes on a Train that's coming direct to DVD. I don't know. I think it could run out of steam, seriously.
But now, Chris, does it bother you at all, being that, we have comic book fans, clearly it's getting away from that. We're going to the big budget movies, bigger hype for Comic-Con. Does it concern you at all that it seems to be less about the comics now?
Well, no, I actually like that because it does cross over. But it's interesting, they had a big premiere party for the film Accepted, when a lot of the comic book fans actually came out. They had this giant sign that said, "Welcome Shafids." It was really, and then there was a giant party there where they were serving free liquor. It's a comedy in the vein of Animal House. What does it have to do with comic books? It's definitely grown out of control.
And it's no longer about comic books. I mean, The Reaping is going to be a supernatural horror film. It has absolutely nothing to do with comic books anymore. When it began, it was 300 people in a basement. If you want a comic book convention, you need to go find another basement, because this is a place where if you want your TV show to get attention, if you want your studios, if the studios want to get their kids, this is where they're going to go.
Mel, what happened? What happened to your Comic-Con?
I agree what they're saying, but tell me why the Ghost Whisperer is at Comic-Con. What does that have to do with comics? What does that have to do with fantasy, science fiction, horror? I love Jennifer Love Hewitt as much as the next guy, but what was Ghost Whisperer doing there?
I think every guy at Comic-Con loves Jennifer Love Hewitt as well. So maybe that explains something as well. Chris, let's go to the television side of things, because we've established it's about movies now. It's not so much about the comic books, but TV was also there, and now people got to see the premiere, or the pilot episode rather, of Heroes. Did that go over big? Was that a good thing for the Comic-Con crowd?
Well, according to the poll numbers of our viewers, it wasn't, but I'll tell you, they haven't seen it. I've seen the 2-hour pilot episode. It's fantastic, an amazing ensemble cast that you will grow to love. This is in the vein of Lost, very serious look at superheroes in real life. And I'll tell you what I love about this pilot is, at the very end of the pilot show, we know exactly where the show is going, unlike Lost, which has completely lost me.
Well, the problem with Lost, I mean, the problem with Heroes is that it's a hybrid of X-Men and Lost. And I think if anything really made a splash there, it continues to be Lost. It has lost a lot of steam in its second season, but this is still the show that everybody wants to see finally move forward. And at Comic-Con, they finally announced a few things that it did that we're going to get.
Finally move forward to where? It's like when Twin Peaks started to suck, they would introduce a new MacGuffin every episode, new characters. Enough with the flashbacks. Show me what is going on. Wrap it up third season. Give me a break. I mean, Lost is over. I think it's run out of steam.
All right, we'll see if Heroes can take over the late night crown. For now, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and chatting about the Comic-Con. We'll see if all this buzz holds up. And of course, planning for next Comic-Con, it's already underway. Mark down July 26th through the 29th, 2007 on your calendars. Thanks to Chris, Mel, and Scott for keeping us all in the loop. It was a pleasure, gentlemen. Right now, let's go over to Zach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Blair, I got to ask you, what was your personal highlight at Comic-Con?
Well, you know, I have to disagree with Scott there in the loop, because I think comics, you know, definitely there's a huge media presence, but as far as comics go, two of my highlights were meeting two of my favorite creators, Brian K. Vaughan and Robert Kirkman. But also, I have to say, the 7-foot-tall transvestite Supergirl in a rubber Supergirl suit, that was pretty magical. So.
You know what mine was?
Yeah.
The ABC Family booth. Oh my God, these new shows, Kyle XY, this movie Fallen. There's got this show called Falcon Beach with all these girls. Anyway, still ahead, we're filling you in on all those Dark Horse comics at Comic-Con. Stick around.
Yep. And we reveal Spider-Man 3 secrets. I sat down with Tobey Maguire. Stay tuned.
Lucky you.
I know.
Playing the guitar really aggressively. What's up, 18 to 32-year-old males? Welcome back to a special Comic-Con edition of Attack of the Show presented by Yaris. We are live, and really, we're TV's only source for what you care about.
Right, and today we are giving you complete Comic-Con coverage.
Yes, and of course, one of the biggest stories to come out of the convention, Spider-Man Trace.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the first two films, they've grossed over $1 billion worldwide. If you factor in merchandising and Happy Meal tie-ins, $13 trillion.
And Spider-Man underoos.
Of course, which they fit really nicely, even in the heat wave. Everyone is waiting in anticipation for the third installment. There's no denying that.
Right, and so you should take a look at this, because I met up with the cast of Spider-Man 3 at the Comic-Con.
Lucky girl.
So this is the third movie, darker feel the movie, darker costume.
Yes, darker costume and some darker things going on. You know, something that's been very important to me as an actor is to really evolve the character and not just see a repetition of scenes and see the same kind of dynamics happen over and over again. So I think we've done a fantastic job.
I am here with Topher Grace, who plays Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3. Now, As a gigantic comic book nerd, I do know that Eddie Brock turns into a certain supervillain in the comics.
Really?
So tell me what it's like to be stepping into the shoes of a fairly iconic character.
It's daunting and it's exciting. Parker. Toby and Kirsten, have done the first two so well. I mean, they're two of my favorite films, so like to be able to kind of guest star on a hit show.
So, it seems like you have a little romantic competition in this movie.
Yeah. Well, because Peter and I are together, and I think basically they're in a vulnerable time in their relationship, and they're having a struggle, and Mary Jane's not getting what she wants from Peter, and he's not getting what he needs. What's happening?
All right, I am here with Thomas Hayden Church, who will be playing the Sandman in Spider-Man 3. What does it feel like to step into the very sandy shoes of such an iconic comics character?
Wow, there you go. Sandy and iconic in the same sentence. There were some tough granular boots to fill.
And probably more stunt work than Sideways.
Yes, quite a bit more. Not all of it fine.
I have to stop it. And it probably doesn't help that you're constantly menaced by supervillains, right?
Yeah, not fun for me or Mary Jane.
Now, will you be signing up for a fourth Spider-Man?
I don't know, we'll see. If there's some great stories to tell, perhaps.
Oh, our little Clover cheerleader is all growing up. Kirsten does so much.
I know.
Actually, it's not about Mary Jane in this movie. It's all about Sandman.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Thomas Hayden Church. He said he and Topher Grace had like a bet as to whether they would see more Sandman or more Venom on the floor of the Comic-Con, and I told him that I already saw a guy dressed as Venom who was clad in unbreathable rubber full-body Venom suit, so probably passing out.
He was actually there for the fetish con at the Marriott.
Yes, exactly.
Just didn't happen. Lost the gas mask at the tram station. Really weird. Stay with us, folks. We have a lot more Comic-Con coverage ahead. Seriously.
Next, the mysteries of the island revealed. We talk with the cast of Lost.
They're animals.
And then it's the hack and slash humor of the Happy Tree Friends.
Really good stuff. I think
Great
we're really doing some good stuff.
We're killing it.
Hey, everybody! Welcome back to a very special Comic-Con edition of Attack of the Show presented by Yaris. We are live, and of course, we're talking about that thing called Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yes. And today we're filling you in on everything that went down in San Diego.
And coming up later this week is Live Music Thursday, presented by Dentine Ice. Hey, this week, Red Damone will be performing live.
Chicago.
That was my Damone.
I hope half of them.
From Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Go rent it.
Now, one boasts quirky personal stories from the likes of R. Crumb, Peter Bagg, and Daniel Clowes. One has a stable that includes Conan the Barbarian, Hellboy, and Darth Vader. And one is home to Barry Wheaton, boy genius.
It's the Battle Royale we'd love to see, but until then, I found out what Fantagraphics, Oni Press, and Dark Horse Comics are bringing to the Comic-Con table. Hey, I'm giving you a look at all the indie comics you should be checking out, but just haven't had a chance to get around to. And I figured, why not start with Dark Horse, the people who brought you Hellboy and Sin City, who also have plenty of new surprises coming out this fall. The Force is with Star Wars fans as Dark Horse's Star Wars legacy continues to be as hot as the working end of a lightsaber. The arty types will love Gremlins, and no, we're not talking about the 1984 flick. This book was penned by Roald Dahl, author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and illustrated by the artists of Walt Disney Studios circa 1943. But my personal favorite has got to be Corpse Delivery Service. It follows 5 Buddhist university students who help dead folks move on to the next reincarnation by carrying your body wherever it needs to go to free your soul. Lazy American students could learn a thing or two from these guys. Now, if you're looking for something hip and twisted, Oni Press delivers on all counts. Local is the latest from Cult King Brian K. Wood, with each issue focusing on a different town with its own quirky quandaries. For the sci-fi junkies, Wasteland takes you to a post-apocalyptic world that's part Deadwood, part Dune, and all kick-ass. And last but not least is Fantagraphics with their collection of freaky and funky titles. But I Like It is award-winning journalist Joe Sacco's semi-autobiographical tale of touring with a punk band in Europe. And one of the most anticipated books on the indie front is Beasts, an anthology of mythical creatures drawn by the best in the biz.
So from sci-fi slick to indie hip, this year's Comic-Con has something for every collector.
Yes!
Cool stuff. What are you a big fan of, Blair? What do you like?
I have to say, local, that Oni book is great.
Yeah.
It's like good indie thing. And I have to say, you know, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars stuff with the lightsabers. It's good looking
Original.
stuff.
Real original, Blair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Right now, folks, here's the news that matters in the feed. Layla.
Yes.
On Friday, I
Yes.
asked, you said the Punisher is your favorite hero.
Yes, sir, he
which is
is.
great, grand, wonderful. The fans eat it up. They
Grand,
like
wonderful.
knowing her likes and
I feel
dislikes.
left out. You guys are all the way over there. I feel so far
It's a
away.
party
man.
You want to come? You want to come?
I don't think I can fit on
You
that
want to ask for a
couch.
fire
Come to
engine?
the dark
Tell Santa
side.
what you
Kevin,
want
as
for
tempting
Christmas?
as it may be, I will just pass for
All right.
today. Thank
but
you.
I do want to know, what's the favorite villain then?
You know, honestly, I like cartoon character villains. I love Mumra.
Mumra?
From
Thundercats,
yeah.
of course.
Love
Yeah.
Mumra.
What,
Love
the girls know
Shaw
Mumra,
from,
but the guys don't?
Inspector Gadget. And, of course, the weird
Claw.
man from
Claw.
He-Man. What's his name
Skeletor?
again?
Skeletor,
Skeletor. All right, that's enough.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Anyway, I'm Layla Kaylee, and if I had one wish, it would be to start the feed right now. Let's do it. Lots of news came out of Comic-Con this weekend, and Marvel Comics certainly delivered its fair share. Most importantly, it told us which 3 heroes will make it to the big screen next. And fanboys everywhere could not be happier. First up is the long-in-development Captain America movie, then Nick Fury, the cigar-chomping leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., and finally a Thor movie. Get ready, Brad Pitt. I just have one question. Why don't they save time and make one huge 4-hour-long Avengers movie instead? I don't know. Iron Man is a Marvel movie that's already in development, and Comic-Con brought us some big news about that as well. Director Jon Favreau announced that the film's villain will be the Mandarin. If you don't already know, he's a scientific genius who, like most bad guys, wants to take over the world. And he fights using 10 rings on his fingers that respond to mental commands. I can't wait to watch Tony Stark kick his butt, and I'll get to when Iron Man hits theaters in May 2008. Quentin Tarantino was at Comic-Con to talk about Grindhouse, the 2-part slasher flick he's co-directing with Robert Rodriguez. Each director will tell a separate story, and Tarantino's is called Death Proof. The big news is that he just cast Nate Plissken himself, Kurt Russell, for the title role. Mickey Rourke was originally supposed to get the part, but according to reports, he just didn't show up on set. So Kurt Russell has stepped in, and Tarantino says, "We've never seen him like this before." Grindhouse hits theaters next April. But what about movies that are out right now? Well, Pirates of the Caribbean was tops at the box office for the 3rd weekend in a row. It even broke a new record as the fastest movie to reach 300 million. It's all great news for Johnny Depp, but bad news for M. Night Shyamalan, whose Lady in the Water all but drowned. That's right. M. Night's fairy tale only scared up 18 million and opened in 3rd place. That's one of his worst showings at the box office ever. How's that for a twist ending? We told you about it a couple of weeks ago when it was called the Argo, but now Microsoft has made it official. Its new personal media player will be coming out this year, and it will be called the Zune. This picture, still an exclusive from Engadget, shows the potential iPod killer which will play music and videos, but not video games as previously reported. I don't know, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs might still have a leg up on you. And finally today, how about some hot zero-gravity sex? Well, NASA scientist James Logan says it may not be all that it's cracked up to be. Logan, who studies the effect of gravity on the body, says sex in space may be underwhelming and messy. And in order to do it properly, it has to be precisely choreographed. Wow, sounds like sex on Earth. Oh well. Just remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. And that's all for today. Be sure to check out g4tv.com/thefeed for everything I didn't even have time to get to. Now unzip your pants, because you've just been fed. Back to you guys.
Oh, thank you, Miss Kaylee.
Yes.
Now, heroes may have been all the talk at Comic-Con, but really the king elephant on the island, it's still lost.
Actually, Kevin, the elephant in the room is a polar bear, buddy.
Yeah. Well, our very own Will O'Neill talked to the cast and crew of Lost. Take a look.
You know, somebody a whole lot smarter than anybody here once said that since the dawn of our species, man's been blessed with curiosity. You know the other one about curiosity, don't you, Jack?
I'm here with David Lindelof from Lost. How's it going, man?
It's going excellent.
So you guys are
aren't new to Comic-Con. You guys have been here before.
No, we actually, Comic-Con is in the DNA of the show because we actually premiered the show here for the first time 2 years ago. The first audience to see the pilot was a Comic-Con audience, and they sort of went out to their blogs and said that they liked it, so that helped to build a real positive buzz. So we feel, you know, we love coming down here, but we also feel an obligation to give this audience sort of a leg up on everyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Light 'em up!
We're here with Daniel Day Kim and Jorge Garcia from Lost. How's it going, guys?
All right.
So, Lost is going well, season 3?
Yeah, so I hear. We'll see. We'll find out August 7th when we go back to start shooting.
Tell me something. What happens with your characters this season?
Not a clue. You heard it from Damon himself. Nothing.
Polar bears. What's up with that?
Yeah, you know what? People were actually saying, where are the polar bears? So we listened to the fans. This year there will be at least several polar bear stories. There will. There actually will.
It's an interesting theory.
What's going to happen at the end of season 3? Just tell me. Between you and me, then.
There's going to be sex.
Awesome.
Adventure. And, a large beanstalk, perhaps?
This is not your island. This is our island. And the only reason you're living on it is because we let you live on it.
My diabetes. Now, don't get off that couch. Lots more Comic-Con coverage still ahead. Next, the latest insanity from the dark recesses of eBay. And later, they're cute. They're cuddly. They're dead. All this and more when Attack comes back.
The feed was brought to you by Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing.
Welcome back to a special Comic-Con edition of Attack of the Show presented by Yaris. We are live and TV's only source for what you care about. Coming up later, we have the trailer for Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain. Stick around, you're going to want to see it. I do. But right now, let's go over to Kevin.
Thank you, Miss Blair. Now, if you're at Comic-Con, you look up in the sky, you're thinking, is it a bird? Is it Zach Selwyn's paper airplane? Not bad, actually.
Not bad.
You know, what is it? Is it a plane? No, it's wearing blue tights and it has a cape. The chances are...
It came from eBay!
What's going on here?
All right, lots of comic book related items just hit eBay to cash in on this year's Comic-Con. So if you've got some spare change lying around, you haven't spent it on a foam core sword or something like that.
That's where all my money went.
You might want to get your hands on issue numero uno. That's right, the first issue of the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, if you do buy this, personally, I don't know about you, Zach, I recommend that you sell it before a bad Spider-Man movie turns the web one into the next Captain America.
Yeah, it could be just one movie, like Topher Grace bombs, and
Could
it just
happen.
doesn't work out.
Yeah. Are we going to see her naked, by the way, Mary Jane?
We
Are
better.
we finally going to see something in this movie?
I hope so, man. You better. I've been to 2 of them already. I'm hoping this one's the one, you know?
If Sandman gets into the panties, though, she'll be crabby.
Oh.
You ever heard that? You've heard the expression.
Oh, dear.
$17,999. 0 bids. Not surprising to me.
Not surprising at all. You want to know what time it is in Metropolis? Gotham City, Krypton, and 97 other imaginary places.
How can I do that?
Well, I'll tell you. You can bid on 100 Superman watches. That is right. Most of these watches are brand new, but a handful of them are from the good old days when comic book superheroes knew what was good for them and stayed on the pages of the comic books where they belong.
Whoa, easy.
I'm sorry.
Easy, Tiger.
I'm sorry.
Now, how many soapbox?
I'm really. My question is, how many Superman watches is too many Superman watches? Apparently, 100 of them.
Yeah. Anybody bidding on this thing?
No one. And they're only asking $29,000, which. $290 a watch, is that right? No, $2,900 a watch?
Something like that. Start, run, calc.
I was much gooder in English.
Yeah, you were. Did you ever want to dress up as Christopher Reeve? Well, the good news is this next auction, it doesn't involve an equestrian riding outfit. No, not even a riding crop. You can own Christopher Reeve's costume from the very first Superman movie. But that's not all, Zach.
Why?
As a bonus, they've reused this costume in the spectacularly bad sequel, Superman 3.
Best of the trilogy, if you ask me.
Seriously. And I think that Superman 3... Actually, I got to be honest, it's kind of a minus here. Because unless that you can prove that the cape was used to douse the flames from Richard Pryor's unfortunate freebasing incident.
Ooh, okay,
That's the only way that cape is going up in value.
Exactly.
For me. 0 bids. $18,586.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Chump change.
Chump change. I just want a little curl like Christopher Reeve, you know, just one.
Can you do the Reeve curl?
I can do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Finally, the pride of Comic-Con 06,
the mystery attendee bag.
Now we're talking. What did we
This
get?
is like the gift bag you get when you go out to a film premiere or something like that, or some stupid party. But if you missed Comic-Con 2006, this mystery bag promises all the fun and excitement of being at Comic-Con, except without all the fun and excitement, the comics, the cool toys, limited edition gear, and the scores of teenage girls dressed up as your favorite comic book hotties.
Yeah.
I was there. And I can't believe that when you put 3 pounds of worthless crap in a plastic bag, that its contents add up to almost $30.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, you know. But if you're expecting Comic-Con 06 in a bag, prepare to be extremely disappointed.
It's hard to get the scent.
It really
into
is.
there.
That geek scent that you were talking about earlier.
You have to take like
know.
like the hamster shavings that they used to line a pen, put that in the bag.
That's how you do it. You got to make
Vaseline.
it bulkier, and also for travel.
Yeah.
You know, because comics rip in the mail. It's $29.75. 2 bids right now.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not too bad. You know, I mean, it's a bunch of pamphlets and stickers, but not even stickers that go in your car. The stuff that you have to put inside your window.
Oh, those are the worst.
The worst. Dude. Oh well. You know what, folks? You can always expect the unexpected. When
it came from eBay. Felt good.
Sure did.
Coming up after the break, folks, we are showing you the magic of Happy Tree Friends, and we have even more Comic-Con coverage. Stay with us. You don't go anywhere.
Stay with
Comic-Con 06 Live is presented by the Yaris Sedan and Yaris Liftback. Different cars, same great attitude. Toyota, moving forward.
Do that, dude. That's not
That's
illegal.
top rope.
That's
It's
not
totally
illegal.
legal. He can come in off the top.
Weak, dude. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Comic-Con 06 Live, presented by Yaris. So cute, so cuddly, and horribly wrong. They may be sugary sweet, but there's no way they'll escape their gruesome fate.
That's right. If they're not having their heads sliced in half, then they're getting their intestines ripped out through their mouth with a pitchfork. That's a nice sound.
Thank
It's
you.
the Happy Tree Friends.
I'm here at the Happy Tree Friends booth at Comic-Con 2006. Needless to say, I'm a little bit worried. So now you're the mind that actually created this thing.
Unfortunately, yes.
What does that say about you?
It says I'm a very balanced individual, I think.
I want to know what happened.
Well, let's see. These are all true stories. When I was 3 years old, I saw my mother on fire. When I was 5, I got attacked by a monkey. A lot of crazy things happened to me when I was young.
You're a sick, twisted person. You're a bad man.
Thank you.
Yeah, very bad. That's it from the Happy Tree Friends booth. Take it easy, guys.
The Happy Tree Friends half-hour series will be coming to G4 this fall.
Yes, in the meantime, though, you can catch Happy Tree Friends shorts in G4's Late Night Peep Show, airing Mondays at 12:30 a.m. That's tonight, folks, at 12:30, following Brainiac at 12 midnight. But still ahead, we have the long-awaited Fountain trailer, and, of course, we're chatting with you in the Monitor Heads. We will be right back, everyone.
If you haven't been watching Attack of the Show, this is what you're missing. For more info, go to attackoftheshow.com.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Comic-Con 06 Live, presented by Yaris. We are live, and we are TV's only source for what you care about. It's time to talk to you, though, folks, and the Monitor Heads. First up is Spike from California.
Hey, I'm Spike from Simi Valley, California, and I want to know what you guys geeked over the most at Comic-Con.
I like the cosplaying girls.
Yeah, I just like making out with Rosario Dawson.
People in rubber suits. Good times.
Okay, I sense a theme. Next, we have Lee or Leia from Indiana. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Hi, my name is Leah. I'm playing Maeve at Tokyo Pop, and I have a question for you. Who had the most shocking outfit at Comic-Con?
I was wondering why the windows of the Yaris shattered on stage before the show. But no, cute, very cute though, Leah. Fantastic, adorable.
Yeah.
What was her question?
Shocking outfit.
Shocking outfit. I saw two guys who were nude, except for Cheerios in front of their.
We called them the Heroes, like heroes with an extra
special man
Assel
area.
region sweat too. From
yes,
what I hear.
there was some serious
But guess
backdoor
what?
sweat, which is
As
disgusting.
an extra tidbit of
Yes.
Comic-Con goodness,
What is
we've got
that?
3 Hasbro exclusive Comic-Con collectible toys that we're going to give to our video voicemailers.
You've
We
got
got a
a
Star Wars guy.
Yes, Star Wars Stormtrooper, a die-cast TIE Fighter, and a Transformer. So if you want one, send us a video voicemail tonight.
And if we use it on air tomorrow, we're going to send you one. Otherwise, you'll have to pay for it with your mom's cash at HasbroToyShop.com. Now, even though Comic-Con ended on Sunday, our coverage of it does not. No.
Tomorrow on Attack of the Show, we grab some popcorn and hit the Comic-Con Film Festival. Then jump into the fire with Batman vs. Superman in the Loop.
And then we don our tights and visit the Comic-Con masquerade and dig for rumors with Samuel L. Jackson, Snoop Dogg, and Sam Raimi.
So place your final eBay bids on that Comic-Con exclusive action figure. And don't miss G4's continuing coverage. It's Attack of the Show Comic-Con edition tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, finally, folks, Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain is a film that only took about 6 years to make, and it's finally hitting theaters September 28th.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz star in this time-bending thriller.
And here's the trailer that was just released.
Ooh.
A special tree grows hidden. The tree of life. They say whoever drinks of its sap will live forever.
Will you deliver Spain from bondage? Take this ring. It is a symbol of your pledge to find the elixir of immortality. You shall wear it when you find Eden. And when you return, I shall be your Eve.
Is everything alright? Everything's alright. How's she doing? She had a seizure.
Wait! I'm afraid.
It's been progress at work.
My conquistador, always conquering.
We tested the substance. There's hope.
Your wife needs you.
This is a disease.
When it's a cure, I will find it. You pulled me through time.
Don't worry. We're almost there.
Our bodies are prisons for our souls.
I'm not afraid anymore, Tommy.
All flesh decays.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh. Yes.
Now, for all the things you saw today and even more, go to attackoftheshow.com. That's our website. It's on the internet.
Ooh.
Until then, Zach's got the right idea.
I'm just waving good night, baby.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
Toodaloo.
Send it down to him. Send it down. You got it.